Hey guys, my name is Vlad and I'm a chat marketing expert working with growing e-commerce businesses. Those are Amazon and Shopify sellers. And I'm running this Shopify plus ManyChat video series that is dedicated to Shopify business owners who can implement my short piece of advice right away for their business and see the results in a really close period of time. So today we are going to talk about strategy and why it is important to actually have one when you jump into your chat marketing journey. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So, basically, when we talk about e-commerce business, so there are two main things that you probably should have from the very beginning. It is your unit economics and it is your digital marketing strategy, and those are interconnected, and you definitely want to have your customer personas ready as well. And let me just show you maybe a draft of unit economics that we implement for some of our businesses. So I've made a special one for that case, and just make sure not to use that one because it is a template. And I just wanted to just quickly show you how some of the numbers could affect your business and bring you whether to the profits or to actually a huge minus that you actually could not see without that model. So we have a bunch of data points there, and starting from the user acquisition, conversion, and the number of purchases, and the amount of items in the basket, and it all ends up with revenue and your contribution margin. So imagine we have like the basic case when we have 5,000 of users coming to our store with a 2% conversion. So our average price is almost $15, right? And we have two types of COGS here. So fixed COGS, it means that usually if we talk about, for example, dishcloth, it means that we have to buy it somewhere for $7, and also it is important to consider that the fact that you will pay for there will be a percentage that you will pay to your payment provider, right? So that is like 2.9%, for example. And we know that customers will buy like 1.5 times, right? So what we can see there is that our revenue is more than $2,000. Congrats! And our contribution margin is $800. And we spend to acquire our customers like $300, which is nice. And let's check what happens if everything is the same, but the conversion drops down to 1.5%. So as you can see, we are getting $300 less of contribution margin in that case. And what happens if, for example, we choose the amount of purchases through the lifetime for that particular customer? So it makes like and consider the fact that we came back to the 2% of conversion rate, and as you can see, the revenue grew just slightly more, like $700, but we earned already $1,200. Well, considering the fact that in the first case we earned $800, it is pretty neat. But what I've changed is that we grew the amount of purchases for the customer, which means that customers love your brand, love your like products, the customer service that you provide, and that makes you more successful and more efficient business. And that is what you should definitely have from the very beginning. And of course the numbers would change, but it is something that you should just consider. And the same goes to the customer personas. And let me just show you quickly the things that we do for some of our customers. And yeah, it's just a short description of the person that we consider as our one of the main target audiences in that case. And yeah, which is cool to have, right? And the second thing that I wanted to mention is you definitely should understand the objectives you would like to reach, right? When you have your chat marketing strategy. For example, I wanted to mention a couple of things that happen in our experience when you have no strategy. So, for example, you want to track something and, for example, conversion on or the amount of purchases made through the chatbot, right? And if you have no data points and no understanding how to track them, then all of your efforts are just drowning and you have to start all over again, even though you've spent some time and budget on that. So I definitely recommend you to just think about the business objectives for the next like 3 to 6 months, or maybe, well, speaking about the year, I think it's too much for e-commerce business, but you definitely would like to have like at least a couple of quarters covered with that strategy. And the next thing I usually see is that people do not consider the fact that they collect the data, but they don't think about where they would like to store that data and how they would like to work with that data, right? So at least you would like to have a Google Sheet that collects all the data points that are important for you, and you would like to, maybe in the best case, you would like to have your CRM that collects all the like it is getting enriched by chat marketing data that you are collecting, because it's the main thing that you actually can have by running your chat marketing efforts. Not like just conversions, but the data that you collect from customers, the customers that share with you through their funnel and their journey. And the next thing I would like to mention is like a good example when you run A/B test and you forgot to actually prepare all the data points and task description for it. So it would definitely ruin your efforts, and it also will affect your budget. So don't forget about that. And I've already mentioned that, but it is always good to come back to the roots and mention that you should set your goals from the very beginning. And if you have no clear goals, you have no clear results. It is pretty straightforward there, right? And let's jump into the next one. So usually people forget to choose the channels that they are working on, and I would like to share that kind of waterfall strategy that is frequently used at this very moment by lots of leading chat marketing experts, and I'm just sharing that one with you. Probably you might be using that subconsciously or partially, and let me just quickly describe that. So we have this Facebook Messenger campaign, for example, running, and people that are engaged and that are, of course, you won't have like 100% engagement. So there are some people that are dropping out, and you don't want to just waste your budget on that, right? You want to just maybe work a bit more on that. So you pass them to your email list. So now your email list, for example, your abandoned cart campaign works for bringing back those people to Messenger or to your checkout page, and it actually generates revenue already there. But there are some people that are just dropping out again, even from the email. And if we have their SMS, if we have their phone number, then we can reach out to them using SMS channel. And of course, it is important to mention that they should share their number by sharing the consent, and we should legally reach out to them, absolutely 100% sure about that. So make sure that you have your opt-ins ready. And it is also efficient because you never know what kind of person, what kind of channel of communication this person likes, right? So you definitely want to give your subscribers an option to communicate in the best possible way they want. And the last thing I would like to mention is running your audits frequently, because the worst thing you can do is just set up your managed funnel or several types of growth tools and just forget about that and never come back to it. And well, I see that frequently, so you definitely want to do at least weekly review of how your chatbot performs. You can see the numbers of the funnel, how is it performing, and what should be changed, if you reach your goals that you set up or not. And yeah, that's actually it. So it's something that you can implement right away, and it definitely would affect your revenue, I believe, in the first month at least, because you can add your abandoned cart thing, and it will help you to grow. It will help you to grow your business. So make sure to share that one with people you know, and maybe you can share some of the ideas or implementations that you had for that. Let me know. I would be happy to chat with you, and have a great day.